Hello everyone, welcome to the Ichimoku.co daily stock market review for the trading day ending Thursday, July 2nd. Firstly to the S&P 500, and here we see a continuation of the trend to the upside today, a candle making a higher high and a higher low. But for the second consecutive trading day, we've seen price rejection from above this yellow highlighted zone. And for the previous day's trading, we saw the buyers lose commitment there, and today the buyers have tested even higher and lost more commitment. This is the formation of a spinning top type candle, and this is on the back of the market attempting to rally with a white body candle from the previous day's trading, and the very small body here suggests that the net momentum from the buyers has disappeared and the sellers have found a small amount of net momentum. Now with the shadow on the top and the shadow on the bottom, it suggests that we have indecision in the market and there is potential for a change of trend to the downside. So we will be looking for the next day's trading for a lower high and a lower low. Now we know that if that lower high and lower low does form, then the market could find support anywhere within the Ichimoku cloud, anywhere within the highlighted yellow zone, all the way down to 2040. If the market does rally, and if we do breach through the top of this highlighted zone, we may find strong resistance at the bottom of the Ichimoku cloud, anywhere through to the top of the cloud, up to about 2108, 2109. Just looking at the Fibonacci extension tool, and here we're examining the relationship of the current first time frame uptrend that the market's in to the immediate previous first time frame uptrend. And here today we see the market testing exactly to the 50% level, being rejected from there quite strongly. The introduction of indecision in the market suggests good potential for a change of trend, so looking for confirmation with the market to make a lower high and a lower low. Moving next to the Dow 30, and a very similar type of candle, but a candle that hasn't breached through the top of that highlighted zone. And with the market testing above the 17,735 level today, we've seen an extension of that trend to the upside, but the indecisive spinning top type candle has formed and suggesting a possibility of a change of trend. Now if you look very closely here, today's candle has found support at the bottom of that zone, so that may continue to offer support. 17,686 is where it trades. If we do see a continuation of the trend to the upside, we may find very strong resistance around the Kijun-sen and the Tenkan-sen trading around 17,880. Now just looking at the Fibonacci retracement tool on the Dow 30, and here we see the market testing to the 38.2% level. The introduction of the indecision and the price rejection from that level suggests that there is good potential for a change of trend, so we'll be looking for a lower high and a lower low. Next to the Nasdaq 100, and continuation of the trend to the upside, a black body candle forming further up towards the high of this candle, and we have a larger shadow on the bottom, so the support at 44.21 has been stronger than the rejection that we've seen close to the 44.48 level. This is suggesting that we may not see a change of trend here, but with the formation of a small body candle here, it suggests that the buyers certainly haven't found any upside momentum in terms of the net effort between the open and the close. The sellers have actually found some net downside momentum, and that does suggest a possibility of a change of trend, but certainly not as likely as we've seen with the other indices. Now we do have this market trading within the cloud, so that's a fair bit different than the others, and we have a neutral market in big picture terms. Any potential rally up through 44.48 is likely to find very strong resistance at the window that was opened up, that extends from roughly about 44.61 up to about 44.68. Now we also have the Kijun-sen and the Tenkan-sen trading just at the top of that window, so certainly the amount of resistance around there is likely to be very strong, and with the Ichimoku cloud, the top of it, very close by, then even stronger resistance around there. Looking next at the Russell 2000, and a very different trading activity here than we saw with the previous indices. We've actually seen a confirmation of a change of trend on this candle, and a candle that's made a lower high and a lower low, and that was off the back of the fairly strong rejection from the previous day's trading around the Kijun-sen indicator, just highlighting how important quite often the Ichimoku indicators can be. There has been very solid rejection, a large extension to the black body, suggesting that the sellers have found even more downside momentum than the previous day's trading, and the sellers have closed with strong control of this market. Now, if we look closely, the market has tested just to the top of the Ichimoku cloud, and we've seen some rejection from there. So this area could actually hold over the next few days trading when we come back from the holidays. But it is a crucial moment of trading here for this index, and any significant breach down below the cloud, and there is a good opportunity to do that because the cloud is very thin, any significant breach could see the Russell 2000 trading lower. Now, we do have very strong support down below there at 1233, so we will be watching that area, but there's no guarantee that the market will breach this area. But the way that the sellers have built momentum here certainly does suggest that we could see a breakout. And just taking a quick look at the some of the asset classes with the Ichimoku charts and the relative strength comparative, comparing these markets to the US equities markets. And TLT is the first. It's the long-term Treasury bond fund. Very weak market in all three timeframes, trading below each of the Ichimoku indicators, traded within the bands here in relative strength comparative, so no strong outperformance or underperformance here. VNQ is the real estate ETF, and here we've seen a continuation of the trend to the upside with the establishment of this very large white body candle for the previous day's trading. Today we've seen the market continue with a higher high and a higher low, but on the back of a black body candle with a large shadow on the top. This suggests that the sellers have taken back control even though the trend is up. The market is finding very strong resistance at the Kijun-sen and the Tenkan-sen, and it certainly does seem as though the likelihood is that the next move may be to the downside. Looking at relative strength comparative, no longer strongly underperforming the US equities market and trading within the bands now, so quite an equal performance to US equities at the moment, but that may not continue. GLD is the Gold Trust ETF, and here we see very strong price activity below each of the Ichimoku indicators, a negative market in all three timeframes. In terms of relative strength, however, no strong outperformance or underperformance. VEU is the Vanguard FTSE All World equities indices, and this is without the US indices, and we have negative trading still down below each of the Ichimoku indicators, forming something of a consolidation pattern here, but whilst this ETF is doing it, it suggests that the world equities markets other than the US are strongly underperforming, and we shouldn't be looking to allocate to here. We should be allocating away from them. IFGL is the global real estate ETF without the US real estate influence, and here we see very strong underperformance, trending down quite strongly. The relative strength comparative against the US equities is very strongly underperforming, and suggests that this is one that we should be allocating away from, and allocating to US equities away from this ETF. And finally to the global infrastructure ETF, and trading down below each of the Ichimoku indicators, as we've seen with all of the others, still strongly underperforming the US equities market. We do have some upside momentum in terms of relative strength here, but trading just at the edge of the band, so still underperforming US equities. Just taking a look at some stocks here, and firstly T is the code, AT&T, and quite a strong market here, trading up above the Ichimoku cloud and the Kijun-sen indicator. And for the previous day's trading, we saw the Kijun-sen hold as support. The Kijun-sen trades at 35.35, and today we've seen the market bounce off there, but finding some resistance above the Tenkan-sen, and formation of a black body candle here does suggest that we could see the market test back down towards the Kijun-sen. There is still a possibility, however, that if a buyer's come in strongly, they can continue to trade the market up. But looking at the relative strength here to the US equities index, the S&P 500, the SPY ETF actually, and here we see very strong outperformance over this last week or two, and continuing to strongly outperform. So if we were looking at trading equity stocks, single stocks as equities, this is certainly the one that we should have been trading over the last couple of weeks. Next to Facebook, FB is the code, and Facebook has been a solid performer as well, trading up above each of the Ichimoku indicators. The Tenkan Sen has been holding a strong support. The Tenkan Sen currently trades at 86.35. And here today we've seen the market bouncing off that area, with the buyers taking control and suggesting a possibility of the market continuing to trend up. In terms of relative strength comparative, trading well up above the bands here, and very, very strong outperformance against the overall market. Strong underperformer here has been Halliburton, HAL is the code, trending down below each of the Ichimoku indicators. For the previous day's trading, strong black body candle. Today, though, formation of an indecisive spinning top type candle, possibility of a retracement, but I suggest that we may see the Tenkan Sen hold as strong resistance. The Tenkan Sen trades at 42.93. In terms of relative strength here to the overall index, strongly underperforming and continuing to do so. Looking next at Tesla, TSLA is the code, and Tesla has been a very strong performer since the breakout up above the Ichimoku cloud in the late April, and has been trending up very strongly in a second time frame uptrend series of higher peaks and higher troughs, and the Kijun Sen holding a strong support, and then over the last couple of weeks the Tenkan Sen indicator holding a strong support. Today we've seen strong buying coming into the market, but we've seen formation of something of a doji candle. If we do see a change of trend to the downside, likely to find very strong support at the Tenkan Sen trading at 269.07. In terms of relative strength, very, very strongly outperforming the overall market, and suggesting that this is another stock that we should have been allocated.